In September 2025, social media erupted with #Rapture Now, turning a once niche theological idea into a global spectacle. What started as a small movement quickly gained momentum. TikTok, Instagram, and X overflowed with emotional videos, tearful goodbyes, urgent warnings, and heartfelt confessions. People shared practical tips for surviving the end, from packing emergency kits to spiritual preparations. The rapture, once confined to church pews, became a trending topic, captivating millions. Algorithms amplified the phenomenon, thriving on fear and fascination, pushing the narrative further. As belief and performance blurred, it became hard to tell who was genuinely convinced and who was just swept up in the viral storm. Friends and families debated the authenticity of the content, adding to the chaos. For many, these platforms became a digital pulpit, spreading faith and finding community in a world that feels increasingly chaotic. Online gatherings replaced traditional ones as people sought solace and connection. But this wasn't just about faith. It was about the power of social media to make fringe ideas feel mainstream overnight. The Rapture Talk phenomenon is a case study in how ancient prophecies are remixed and broadcast in our hyper-connected, anxious age. As the world watched, the line between prophecy and performance faded, leaving millions to wonder, what if the end really is now? The digital age has transformed how we perceive and react to such profound ideas. To understand #Rapture Now, you need to know the rapture, a belief in some evangelical circles that Jesus will return suddenly, taking true believers and leaving the rest behind. This idea comes from New Testament passages, especially 1 Thessalonians, and is seen by followers as a literal, world-changing event. The rapture promises rescue from chaos, sparing the faithful from a period of tribulation ruled by the Antichrist. But it's not a universal Christian belief. Most major denominations interpret these prophecies symbolically, not as a secret escape. The rapture doctrine is a relatively modern invention, popularized in the 1800s by John Nelson Darby. For its believers, though, it's a source of hope and urgency, a call to spiritual readiness, and a promise of ultimate deliverance. This conviction shapes their worldview, fueling the powerful emotions seen on Rapture Talk. For them, the rapture isn't an end, it's the beginning of their eternal reward. On Rapture Talk, theology becomes raw emotion. Videos of believers in tears, their faces illuminated by the blue glow of their screens, fill the feed. These are not just fleeting moments, they are deeply personal confessions, broadcast to thousands of strangers who understand the weight of what's at stake. People are saying goodbye to loved ones they fear will be left behind, holding each other tightly as if it might be the last time. The air is thick with uncertainty, and every embrace carries the hope that their message of faith will somehow reach those they care about most. Some have quit jobs, sold possessions, or drained savings, convinced that earthly concerns no longer matter. For them, the countdown to the rapture is a call to let go of everything that once seemed important. The logic is simple. If the end is imminent, why worry about mortgages or careers? The future, as they once imagined it, has been replaced by a sense of urgency and a focus on what truly matters to them. Even pets aren't forgotten. Many have left instructions for non-believing friends to care for their animals after the rapture. Some have even arranged for pet rescue services, determined that no loved one, human or animal, is left without care. These preparations, both emotional and practical, show just how deeply this belief shapes lives. Support groups, both online and in person, have sprung up to help people process the anxiety and hope that come with such convictions. Sharing these stories online creates solidarity, letting believers know they're not alone in their convictions. The comment sections become spaces for comfort, prayer, and encouragement, building a digital community bound by shared anticipation. At the same time, these posts serve as urgent warnings to outsiders, a digital last call to repent. Each video, each message, is a plea for others to reconsider before it's too late. The rapture isn't just a future event for these followers. It's a present reality demanding total life reorientation. Every day is lived as if it could be the last, with priorities shifting dramatically. In this digital confessional, faith, fear, and love for family, even pets, collide in real time, creating a tapestry of hope, vulnerability, and unwavering belief that is as moving as it is profound. The September 23rd rapture date traces back to Joshua Muslakela, a South African pastor whose small congregation had no idea their leader's vision would soon ripple across continents. Muslakela claimed Jesus gave him the date in a vivid, almost cinematic vision, one that he described as both terrifying and awe-inspiring. His prophecy, timed to coincide with Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, gave it an extra layer of spiritual significance and urgency. The message spread rapidly online, offering a clear, dramatic prediction that was tailor-made for the age of social media, easy to share, easy to believe. The movement gained even more momentum after the shocking assassination of Charlie Kirk, a prominent evangelical figure whose influence stretched far beyond church walls. Kirk's death was quickly framed as martyrdom, casting him as a fallen hero in a cosmic battle between good and evil. This narrative of spiritual warfare electrified believers, fueling apocalyptic expectations and making the rapture feel not just possible, but inevitable. Suddenly, the idea of a coming rapture wasn't just a distant prophecy. It felt urgent, immediate, and necessary for a world in chaos. The combination of a specific prophecy and a high-profile martyr created a viral storm, one that swept through timelines and news feeds with breathtaking speed. The story was simple, emotional, and seemed to be confirmed by real-world events, making it irresistible to both believers and skeptics alike. Social media algorithms picked up the story, amplifying it far beyond its original audience and ensuring it reached millions. The prophecy was packaged into short, shareable content, memes, videos, and posts that blurred the line between faith, news, and spectacle. For many believers, Kirk's death was the ultimate sign that the final battle had begun. For others, it was a moment of collective mourning and hope. For the internet, it was irresistible viral fuel, content that demanded to be shared, debated, and dissected. In this way, a vision from a small South African church and a tragedy in American politics merged, transforming into a global phenomenon that crossed borders and beliefs. The result was a prophecy that felt urgent, real, and impossible to ignore, an event that seemed to demand the world's attention. The internet did the rest, weaving together faith, fear, and fascination into a single, unstoppable narrative. In the end, belief became a worldwide event, one that no one could scroll past or simply ignore. Rapture talk isn't new. Apocalyptic thinking always surges in times of crisis. Throughout history, wars, plagues, and upheaval have driven people to seek cosmic explanations for chaos. Apocalyptic stories offer comfort. Suffering isn't random, but part of a divine plan leading to ultimate justice. From the Book of Revelation to the Black Death, the Cold War, and Y2K, each era has had its own end-times fever. Today's world, polarized, anxious, and unstable, fits the pattern perfectly. The assassination of a public figure like Charlie Kirk only deepens the sense of crisis. For many, the rapture is a divine reset button, promising salvation for the righteous and an end to unsolvable problems. These beliefs are less about theology and more about finding hope and meaning when the world feels out of control. In uncertain times, the promise of a perfect ending is more appealing than ever. At the heart of rapture belief is the Book of Revelation, a text filled with dragons, beasts, and cosmic battles. For many, it's not just symbolism, but a prophetic roadmap for the end of days. Revelation was written during Roman persecution, offering hope that God, not Caesar, would have the final word. Today, its vivid imagery still resonates, especially when the world feels dominated by evil or chaos. The book provides catharsis and a sense of control, reframing present struggles as part of a grand divine narrative. Modern believers slot current events, wars, leaders, technology, into Revelation's script, feeling they possess special insight into God's plan. In times of conflict, Revelation transforms fear into hope, making the unpredictable feel ordered and meaningful. Rapture talk offers comfort to some, but its viral spread comes with risks. Algorithm-driven platforms amplify fear, pushing dramatic end-times content to millions and fueling widespread anxiety. Apocalyptic worldviews divide people into saved and damned, deepening social and political rifts. This dualistic thinking can dehumanize opponents, turning political rivals into cosmic enemies. The narrative of spiritual war, especially after events like Kirk's assassination, can justify hostility and even violence. Viral predictions also breed misinformation. When prophecies fail, some lose faith, while others simply move the goalposts. The cycle of fear, division, and disillusionment continues, with real-world consequences. In the digital age, the line between faith and frenzy is thinner than ever. Despite its visibility, Rapture talk represents a small vocal minority. Most Christians and the wider world watch as outsiders, not participants. The trend's virality is amplified by skeptics and satirists, who mock and parody the prophecy as much as believers promote it. For every tearful goodbye, there's a joke about inheriting someone's toaster or gaming console. This mix of earnest faith and cynical humor creates a strange online environment where both sides fuel the trend's popularity. As September 23rd passes uneventfully in places like South Korea, skepticism grows. The lack of any rapture-related incidents is seen as another failed doomsday prediction. For most, it's not a sign of the end times, but a testament to humanity's enduring appetite for belief, even in the face of contrary evidence. Rapture fever reveals more about us than about prophecy. These trends reflect our anxieties, our longing for meaning, and our hope for order in a chaotic world. Rapture talk, like past apocalyptic movements, offers a simple story. Chaos is temporary, and a perfect ending is near. It unites the isolated, gives a sense of control, and transforms believers into actors in a cosmic drama. The real lesson isn't about the truth of any prediction, but about the conditions that make such beliefs appealing. Apocalyptic thinking is a social barometer, signaling distress and a loss of faith in conventional institutions. Rather than mock, we should ask, what drives so many to seek hope in these stories? As the dust settles, the deeper questions remain, waiting for the next crisis to bring them back to the surface.